So what do you want me to start?
All right, we're talking to Mickey Bliss. And Mickey, you used to work Jack's Drum Shop?
Correct.
What was that?
Let me think. It was probably from like about 72 to, I think it was 75, the spring of 75. It was about 3 years right in that period.
So you met some guys from Berkeley?
Oh, I met a lot of guys from Berkeley, yeah.
And two were in your band?
I had this band called Jade, yeah. And there was two guys from Berkeley. There was one local guy, whose name I forget. And there was a friend I had that kind of was like from all over, and he was living in Boston at the time, but he wasn't like a native Bostonian, and he hasn't lived in Boston for years.
So a five-piece quintet?
Five-piece quintet, yeah. We were like the New York Dolls or the Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, you know, the same sort of lineup.
And did you play keys?
No, I was playing bass in that band. I was playing bass. I wrote the majority of the songs, but a lot of us wrote songs. I mean, sometimes it'd be three of us. It wasn't like a Lennon-McCartney thing where there was just two of us that wrote. I mean, whoever had an idea would write, would all contribute. So different songs would be written by different people.
Interesting. So then you played the Cambridge Common.
Well, yeah, we were on the very last concert they had at the Cambridge Commons. We were the headlining band, and the other two bands on the bill with us were George Thorogood. He opened. He was playing solo. And in those days, he was very the opposite of what he was when he got with the band, where he was very energetic and jumping all over the stage. In those days, he used to just kind of sit on a chair with a hat down, pulled over his eyes, like he was this old ancient blues man, and sit there and play an acoustic guitar and do his songs. And Willie had some kind of band that had radio in it. I forget the name of it. I don't know if it was the Radio Hearts, Radio Kings, or something. So we were young guys then, and we thought we were pretty sharp. We had all the glitter glam outfits. We went to New York City to Jumpin' Jack Flash and bought the sequin suits and the satin suits and the high heel platform boots and all that. And you know, we had the hair, the shag hair and all that. And you know, we thought we were gonna go places. So we're laughing up our sleeves at George Thorogood and Willie Alexander. It's like, oh, you know, these bands are never gonna go anyplace. So look at us now. But you're asking about the Berkeley guys. The reason I brought them up is because what happened with the band was we really were going pretty strong. We were getting some good gigs, and you know, we had an act anyways, which is you know, half the battle right there, having an act and having an image. We had all the songs, we had all the equipment, we're all ready to go. We started in January, and you know, we're right to the point where we were, you know, ready to go out and start working steadily. The two guys from Berkeley, it gets to be June, and they says, oh well, school's over, we're going home for the summer, we're not coming back. That's the end of the band.
Wow.
So
that's amazing, Mickey.
Yeah.
So that was the time when I played this Cantab here, when it was called the Cantab, in 1974.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like probably punk rock in New York, but nobody else had ever heard of it. You know, but people knew the New York Dolls. There was a small amount of people in Boston that knew the New York Dolls, you know, like, I don't know what you call them, a glitter community or glam community. So if the Dolls would play, we'd all go see the Dolls all dressed up in our finery, or Bowie played, you know, the same thing. In fact, we tracked down Bowie in the Statler Hotel and got to shake his hand as he was going down the hall. And it was kind of a surprise because we all dressed down. He had a pair of farmer's jeans and had his hair down. He just looked like a regular guy, but he was very polite. He was, you know, very polite and demure, and you know, shook our hands and thanked us for our support and went on his way. Very polite, but you know, without getting too bogged down with us either.
Now, did you go to the clubs like the Rat and Katie's and this club?
Not so much the Cantab. I mean, I used to go to Katie's if there was somebody I liked playing. There used to be this band Dazzle that was another glitter band, and Billy Rath, who some people know, he just passed away. Billy Rath was in that band. Brian Chase was in it for a while. Some people might remember Brian Chase. I think he passed away a long time ago. They played there for a week. And then I think I saw Gladys Knight and the Pips there and stuff. The Rat wasn't the Rat then. The Rat was called, I believe it was TJ's. And yeah, I'd go there once in a while. That was cover bands, so they didn't have the original bands then. It was before the Rat.
Were they upstairs or downstairs?
No, the bands were downstairs. As far as I know, they have bands down there since World War II. I talked to some guys that were older than me that told me they met their wives down there after World War II, and it was still a dive then back then with bands. And still seemed like pretty much the same sort of place it always was. So,
Fascinating. Did the band Jade play any of these places?
I remember we played this place that opened up on BU past 700. It was a brand new club. It was supposed to be a big deal. It probably was comparable to what the Channel was when it opened. And they hired us as one of the first bands, but the reason they hired us was because we were loud and they wanted somebody to test out the soundproofing. So,
not the old Paradise when it was Boston.
no, it was on the other side of the street. It was down, right within the BU campus area. I mean, it's just a little bit past 700.
Oh, remember the Box?
That's the Box. That's what it is. That's the name of the place, the Box.
I saw Aerosmith there.
Yeah, the Box. That's exactly the name of the place,
under the
the Box.
Nickelodeon Cinema.
Yeah, right near there. Anyways, yeah.
Right underneath.
Yeah.
Was the basement.
Yeah.
Wow. So you played the Box.
Played the Box. There was over in Kendall Square. There was some kind of art studio that had us play there. I kind of liked playing that place. I felt very mod. We played there. We probably played like Jack's. I think Jack's was the big place back in those days on Mass Avenue. Played a place out in Revere. Oh, we used to. I was gonna say we played the Combat Zone, but that was a different band we used to play with. Joe Cook used to book us down there, but I don't think Jade ever played the Combat Zone.
So Joe Cook used to book you, and now you work in the club Joe Cook was king of.
Yeah. Joe Cook used to have this company called Tip Top. And he was a booking agent. He used to book a lot of bands and dances down the Combat Zone and other places too, but mostly down on Washington Street. That's where he was located. His office was located. That's where his contacts were. And he also had a record company called Tip Top Records. So, yeah, Joe used to book us, and then sometimes he'd use us for his backup band. He'd do these, put together these reviews. He'd have us, would be the opening act. Then he used to have this guy, Ronnie Kai, that used to, he was a comedian, but when it come out, he used to do this fire breathing routine. So we'd do like from Stranded in the Jungle, that part where it goes, and the drummer would be doing like jungle drums, and there'd be a limbo stick, and Ronnie Kai would come out and be breathing fire, and then it'd go into his comedy act, and then there'd be an exotic dancer, and we'd play behind the exotic dancer because they didn't use like tapes and stuff back then. Everything was live. And we'd start out with everybody needs somebody to love, and the exotic dancer would come out and do her thing. And then after she got done, the Peanut Man, Little Joe Cook, would come and would back Little Joe Cook. So we all used to drive, the whole review used to drive up and down the pike, because most of these places were up like in Hampshire or Salisbury Beach. Wherever they were out of town. They weren't in Boston. Would all pile into Little Joe's Cadillac, all the equipment tied on top. And we'd drive up to the club, which usually Little Joe didn't know where it was, so we have to circle around town until we found out where the place was. They didn't have GPSs in those days. So on the way home, Joe used to hold the money till we got to town, and he'd be drunk. He'd be drunk as a lord. And driving down the pike with one hand, and it'd always make the exotic dancer sit next to him in the front seat. And the whole way down, they'd be wrestling. Joe would be trying to grope and be getting a little action off the dancer. The dancer would be trying to fend Joe off politely because she knew if she got him too mad, he wouldn't pay her. And she had to get back to Boston and keep him happy until she got her money. And we'd be sitting in the back, shaking, thinking that we were going to go off the road and get in an accident. And if nothing else, we'll have to spend all night down the police station fucking around signing papers. And worse, we could have got hurt and lost our equipment. But, fortunately, nothing ever happened. Joe always got us home. He always paid us. I mean, some people complained because they say he kept the lion's share of the money and paid the band short money. But, he always paid what he said. He'd tell you in advance what it was. If they paid 15 cents a man, 20 cents a man, whatever. I mean, like $15 a man, 20. You always got paid per man, a guarantee in those days. It was usually like 15 or 20, which even then we thought was short money. But even today, if you got guaranteed, that people would think would be great. I mean, so things went backwards. At least you got a guarantee. And I never remember getting stiffed on my money. People, whether it was Joe or anybody, it was always the way it was. People would hire you. They tell you you're getting so much per man up front, and you always got it. Whether anybody showed up, nobody showed up. You usually get booked for a week at a time. Most places, other than these places where Little Joe took us, you get booked for a week at a time, and they really didn't expect you to draw anybody in because all the clubs had people that came out to see them. As long as you didn't scare people out of the club, they'd probably keep you another week.
So you
that's the way
backed
it
up
was
a
back
little
then.
Joe Cook. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know how to play peanuts.
Yeah, oh yeah, 1-6-2-5. Yeah, that was easy. Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, we would do Peanuts. Used to do that Sam Cooke song that the Animals do. Bring It On Home. The Green Grass at Home. Turn Back the Hands of Time by Tyrone Davis. I mean, he always did the same material, whether it's here, whether he went on the road. You know, a lot of the same songs.
But did you ever get a tape of this live? Or
No, they really didn't. I mean, they had the little portable tape machines that actually made pretty good tapes. It's funny, when I had that band Jade, we went in the studio, we did this, that, and the other, trying to get good tapes. The best tape we ever got was that last show we played that I was talking about earlier at Cambridge Common, and somebody took a little Radio Shack tape recorder that has all the buttons lined up in the front and it works on batteries, and stuck it up in the middle of the Commons and caught us live, and that was the best recording we made.
Now, do you still have any of these?
I don't have those. I actually do have some masters that I made with Jade someplace. We cut them at that place that Joel Simkus took over in Jamaica Plain. I can't even think of the name, but it was a brand new studio back then. And it was one of the first new studios. Back when I first started playing music, there used to be one studio in Boston.
Dimension.
Ace Recording. It was a 4-track. It was down
Stewart Street.
not Stewart Street. It was a little alley off of Boylston. I think it's called Boylston Way. There's a couple of clubs down there. It's near the State Transportation Building. It's the last black block on Boylston Street until you get to Washington Street. And there was one there that was just like you see on Abbey Road. You'd go in there to record. All the guys had shirts and ties on. To us, they were older men. I don't know how old they were, but I mean, they weren't hippies. They didn't have long hair. You know, they had their hair all combed and short, and they had their shoes polished, and they'd have, you know, ties and jackets, and it was like boom, boom, boom. You'd go in to record, they'd say, they'd set the drums up, okay, hit the drums, the drummer would go, okay, we got it. You'd go to the guitar, play a couple chords, boom, 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 okay, we got it. You know, everything was quick. None of this stuff we'd spend 5 days in the studio just trying to, you know, get the equipment set. And boom, people would go in there, they'd cut like whole albums, whatever. But that was the only studio. And the other cool thing they had up there was they had an acetate pressing machine. So you could go in there, you could cut your tape, and then you could have it put on a vinyl disc right then and there. I mean, it was acetate, so if you played it too much, it wouldn't last too long, but you could take it out and play it, or you could send that out as demos. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, getting back to your question, so we went to this place in Jamaica Plain, and
Dimension?
they might have changed it to that. The one thing I remember is you go down to a basement, and where you recorded, it was all sunk down deep, but then the control room, it was like you see an Abbey Road, and it was up. So you look up, and it was like almost like a mezzanine, and they had windows and stuff, so they were up way above the action. And it was nice, they had a Hammond organ there. I guess all the recording studios back in those days used to have Hammond organs with a Leslie and a, you know, real piano and stuff. So we cut 2 or 3 sides, and it would have been on, I know it was a 4-track tape, probably 1-inch 4-track. So I got the 1-inch master someplace, and I probably got the 1/4-inch someplace. But, you know, what kind of conditions? I mean, we're talking 1974. And the
We can resurrect it. We gotta
things
save
have been
these
like
things.
stored in hot attics and cold, moldy basements.
We gotta save it.
Yeah, I got it. So, yeah, you could, if somebody still has that kind of machine that you can play the stuff back on, if they still have a 4-track 1-inch, if it was 1-inch, I don't know, it might have been 1/2 inch. I'm not even sure now.
Well, we're talking to Mickey Bliss downstairs at the Club Bohemia. And Mickey, you got to be on the radio show. You got to call in, so you don't even have to come over. You can just call in.
I'll try if I ever get the time.
All right, cool, man. Thanks.
All right, Joe.